all right.
What did you just make of last night overall, and maybe the good and the bad?
I wouldn't say it's no bad because it was our first game, and they had a game under their belt. So I feel like everything was good, how well we played together, being our first game out there. I think we gave up 2 mistakes on our end to let them back in the game. So it was just all on us. Some stuff we haven't went through because we didn't have to play the game yet. So.
Did that feel about as good for you individually as you had felt really since tipping off things and the preseason schedule as well?
Yeah, it felt good. It felt good.
Was there any added incentive going up against Minnesota and obviously with Nasri, who got the award that you didn't?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, I don't think about it. I don't care about that award no more, man. I tried last year. Should have got it, so just playing basketball this year.
Yeah. What impressed you most?
Our togetherness. Like I said, we ain't played a game together once, and to have the West, one of the best teams in the West, and we had them down on the ropes the whole game, and we just let up. So yeah, that was surprising.
What do you see during kind of that let up, like stands out to me, sort of end of the third there?
Yeah, it wasn't even the end. It was the beginning of the third. We just gave up too many open threes to the hot guys. Like Mike Conley, we gave him 2 corner threes. He a 40% shooter, so he gonna knock those down. We gave Ant some rhythm threes that he normally makes, and he made them. So it's just stuff we can cut down.
And only 29 threes last night. Do you feel like you guys could have created more there?
Yeah, I should have shot a few more. It's just a few more I should have shot. That would have helped us out. But like I said, it's our first game, so we'll be all right.
Yeah, how much of it is just like a feeling out process, like getting integrated with DeMar and then Kevin back in the fold? Like how much?
And Trey back too. We haven't had them all training camp, so like I said, we just getting back in rhythm. It was great. I'm happy where we at right now, especially not having a game under our belt. So yeah, we'll be all right tomorrow.
What do you see in the Lakers right now?
I don't know. I watch Sacramento.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously you had played down there before. I mean, does what LeBron and AD, what they do, is it changed at all from when you were there?
They got JJ Redick as a coach.
Yeah.
So obviously.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess to their overall importance and just their.
Oh yeah, no, they haven't changed. They bring everything every night to the game. Practice too. Whether they doing something or not, they always talking, throwing their ideas around, throwing their thoughts around, and just helping the team out. So yeah, they haven't changed at all.
What stood out to you about Keegan's performance last night?
Nothing.
You like his look he had?
Well, look, the three. Oh yeah, look, I thought it was going in. Yeah, I'll have Keegan shooting that every time if we could.
No love for the rebounding. Okay.
Yeah, nah, that's what he's supposed to do. He did what he's supposed to do.
Thanks, Malik. Appreciate it. Who started the thumbs down during player injury? It goes back a while, but
it was Malik, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we did it in practice, then it just carried on.
That's awesome. Did you like the look you had last night?
I mean, it was a look, so I mean, whenever you can get a look with 2 seconds left is a plus, and felt good. It just rimmed out. So.
What's just the good and the bad as you kind of reflect upon last night?
I think the good was defense in the first half, and I think in the third quarter we're up 12, and they went on a run, and that was kind of how they got back in the game, and we could have closed them out right there. So there's a lot that we look back on and we're happy about, but there's obviously stretches that we just need to take care of.
A lot of mid-rangers last night. You got a couple in there too. What's the balance between keeping up the volume for threes and then still getting to those midi looks?
Yeah, I mean, teams are trying to take away the three-point, especially Minnesota. They're hugged up on a lot of our guys. So it's just trying to balance when to attack the basket. When's a good mid-range shot? Because a lot of mid-range shots aren't great. And obviously you want to shoot a lot of threes, like Minnesota did last night, because that ended up winning them the game. So obviously you just need to find a balance that works for us.
How enabled do you feel to sort of recognize your moments, take some of those mid-ranges, create for yourself?
Yeah, I know I'm a capable scorer in the mid-range, and I know that I'm capable from the 3 levels on the court. So we got a lot of guys that can put the ball in the basket. So it's just picking my spots when I see something I like.
Does it feel like you just had more room, more space out there with DeMar and Mary getting so much attention?
Honestly, not really. I feel like I was I was played tight with Julius on me, but those guys, I mean, it's going to differ game from game, so it's going to be interesting to see how other teams play it. But yeah, I feel like there's going to be games where I have a lot more open looks. So.
The numbers might change from game to game, but from a core in your offensive output as a team, do you feel like it's what you expect to have those type of numbers as a team, game in, game out?
Yeah, I think those would be guys that have the hot hand each night. Those would be guys that, I mean, it's not going to look like that box score each night. So those would be guys off our bench that are going to step up in a big way. And this could be, I mean, it's good to have that kind of depth on our team that are ready to go.
How do you look at the Lakers on Saturday, next matchup?
Yeah, I mean, they're a big team, physical. They rebound the ball well. And they're playing good basketball so far, especially their game against Minnesota. So we know that we're going to have to be able to run in transition against them and just try and get their bigs up and down the court.
What did you think about the interview and Golden Wing last night? How much do you think it kind of powered you guys in the game?
Yeah, I mean, it was really good. It felt like, obviously, opening night game, playoff game. So they bring that pretty much the whole season. So it's exciting to get back on the court with that kind of energy.
How's that? What kind of stands out about last night?
You know, we had a lot of good stretches, but versus a really, really good team, you can't have. We had a couple of stretches, and we showed our guys this where we know we didn't play the way that we're capable of, and when that happened, oh boy, did they make us pay. You know, there was a stretch late in the third, I think, where they hit three straight threes, possession-wise, and we had 3 possessions where we took a contested 2, you know, and it goes from an 8-point game with us being up to them being up 1 literally in like a span of a minute and a half. And so defensively we weren't great during that stretch, and offensively we weren't great during that stretch. So for us to continue to find ways, especially versus the better teams, to eliminate those down spurts is going to help pay dividends.
Is there a similarity in the size that LA has versus what the Wolves have, and going up against a team like that?
LA is big, but you know, I mean, Minnesota is really big. When you're talking about Gobert, Reed, and Julius, you know, but you know the Lakers have some size too, and they can pose some problems with it. The thing that I was excited about, that we stressed a lot of, is as big as they are, we got to put bodies on bodies, and I thought we did a decent job keeping them off the glass, whether it came to gang rebounding or just, you know, boxing your own guy out.
When you look back at some of the shot profile, how do you feel about the looks that you guys got? A lot more middies, a little less threes.
Yeah, and that's talking about that. During that stretch, we had opportunities to shoot threes on every single one of those possessions, and we chose to shoot it tough too. But we had instead of spraying it, you know. And I think Jay said we were, you know, numbers wise, I think we were 7 for 12. We like to get to 20 sprays per game. We were 7 for 12 for the game, and that includes 3 blatant sprays that we had an opportunity to do in a minute and a half span. So if we spray those, because it was really obvious, now you're up to 15, and you got to find, you know, a way to get 5 other ones, and so you're close. The reality of it is too, DeMar's he's one guy that, hey, if you get to your spot, I want you to shoot that midi. You know, and so maybe our threes may go down a little bit because he's shooting more middies, but we still want to be in the 30s, hopefully, from that 3-point line at the end of the day. And hopefully they're all for sprays.
It seemed like last year Fox and Malik were the 2 dudes that you were pretty comfortable with taking middies. Now you had DeMar. Where's Keegan at in that? Got a couple of them up last night.
Keegan, you know, he's worked hard to be really efficient at it. You know, he's just got to continue trying to get a feel for, okay, if I drive, and we showed, he had one during that stretch where he drove, it was 19 seconds on the shot clock, I don't know if you remember, and Rudy steps up and he shoots a high arcing floater over him. Well, I think it was Trey, but he drives, great job turning the corner, boom, just kick that to Trey. So he's just got to know, okay, I'm 6'8", but if a guy 7'1" is one of all-time career shot blockers in the history of the game is about to step up, maybe I need to spray it. And that's probably his next iteration, because I love his aggressiveness. I want him to continue being aggressive. I want him to continue trying to get to his spots, because he has a couple of spots now that he can get to, and he's comfortable, even if it's putting that back shoulder and spinning and shooting a little fading shot. That's a pretty good shot for him. But again, he's got to know, okay, do I got a guy 7'1" challenging it, or do I got a guy 6'5" on me that's going to challenge that shot?
From an outside perspective, he's very quiet, obviously. How do you notice his confidence, and do you feel like it's up this year?
I do, throughout, not early in the preseason maybe, but even if you include a couple of the last preseason games, one of the things that I always look at for Keegan is if he drops some shoulders in the head, and I haven't felt that at all. And so, I want him to continue being aggressive, because he's got a chance. I showed him, like, if you look at his numbers his first 2 years in the league and you compare him to some other guys that are great players, I'm not, knock on wood, hopefully he's a great player, I'm not putting him there already. But if you show him, if you compare his numbers to some of those guys, from even like a Kawhi to Markkanen, it's either close or he's exceeding that. And you're talking about a guy that played power forward / center in college, and he's playing a completely different game now. So in a matter of 3 to 4 years, he's overhauled his game and taken it to an elite level for as young as he is at the highest level, and talking to the NBA. So again, I like what I'm getting from Keegan. He's just got to continue trying to feel when to take those tough shots.
A little more wiggle this year?
A little bit more wiggle this year, yes.
It's only a one-game sample size, but how do you view the Lakers under J.J. Redick this time, based off what you saw perhaps when they played the Clippers?
I mean, you got 2 Hall of Famers, and you're going to have a chance to be good. And, LeBron's arguably one of the best to ever play the game. You're going to be good. And so, it's JJ, I'm sure, is going to be fine, but not just for JJ, for all of us. Right now, everybody's excited. Everybody's going to bring the juice and the energy. Come January or February, ask me, maybe it's different. Yeah. But most teams out there, when you watch them right now, are trying to play the right way. They're trying to play with juice. They're trying to play with energy and all that other stuff. And the teams that can figure out how to do it consistently, even when the dog days get here, those are the ones that you think, okay, well, dang, they're doing something pretty good over there for that to happen.
I was going to say, is it too early to prepare differently for a team that's going to be on the second night of a back-to-back?
No, because for us, it fits well. I mean, we want to play fast, and and I got to make sure that I'm better with the minutes. I've played 2 guys over 40 minutes, which I hate, but it happened. Domas was at 38, and Foxy was at 37. So I got to help those guys out by making sure that I don't go too hard practice-wise to take their legs away, and that's why today was really, really light.
That's what I was about to ask you about, because from those comments last night, I mean, realizing it's not going to happen overnight, probably more of an evolution for you, but how do you kind of figure that out in terms of scaling back those minutes and knowing who you can rely on? Like you said, you have some maybes on your team that have to become yeses, I guess. Is that part of the process as well?
Yeah. And again, part of it too is, you got Trey coming back, and so in the back of your head, you're like, okay, can I play him another stint? Can I play him a little longer this stint? Same with Kevin, and then you got a guy like Doug. You're like, okay, man, maybe he might get hot and hit 2 or 3 quick threes. A guy that I didn't play at all who has a chance to help us is J-Mac Jordan, and but then it's like, okay, who does he come in for right now? You got Ant Edwards over there, so if Keegan's sitting down, maybe Keon needs to be on the floor. So again, there's some things that I'm juggling that will get clearer as we move along.
Coach, ESPN recently ranked Golden One Center as the #1 arena and fan experience in the league. Just what do you make of the energy that the crowd brought last night in the season opener, and just kind of talk about the fan experience here?
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people give Vivek credit, but you do. You have to give Vivek credit for, because he's the one that had to say, even though he might not have thought of Doko and all the other stuff that's around here and even the design of the arena, he's the one that had to say yes to all this and put his money where his mouth is. And so it starts with the building in the area, because if the building was way out or it was a crappy building, maybe you don't have that experience, okay? And then the next thing, obviously I say this all the time, our fans are unbelievable, and not just in this arena, but when I'm out and about around town. And so to have the energy that they brought last night, I mean, it's hopefully it's obvious to us, and it's good that we're starting to get some national recognition that our fans, they are it. They are that, and so for us, that's a good thing. We want to play here as many times as we can because we know we have a true sixth man, and I thank ESPN for getting it right.
Appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good trip.